I bow to all the seekers of truth. This is a special time in the history of creation that so many seekers have been born on this earth. They have realized that there is something beyond than the mundane life they have to seek. This is not the seeking of one life. It is the seeking of ages, which is being prophesied, has to be fulfilled now. There have been prophecies and prophecies about this great time. In India, about 14,000 years back, Bhrigu Muni has written a book called Nadi Granth, in which he has described you all, saying that a day will come when all these such great seekers will be born on this earth, and that their Kundalini, which is the power of their true desire, will be awakened spontaneously, and they'll find out what they are. But also there has been prophecies about many fake people coming on this earth. And they will try to delude and take people away from truth. There have been also great prophecies all over the world, but especially in England. About 100 years back, a great poet called William Blake was born, and he has written so clearly about Sahaja Yoga that it is surprising how he has even exactly mentioned the house where I'll be staying. Also that he has said that the men of God, meaning the seekers, the men of God will become prophets, and they will have power to make others prophets. This is the sign we should take when we are seeking the truth. When we are seeking the truth, we have to remember that we have to become the prophets ourselves. We have to become the guru ourselves. If I say I'm such and such, I'm this and that, what's the use? What's the meaning of that? What have you got out of me? What have you become out of me? What did you get by your Kundalini awakening? We should know that you are on the right path by the fruits it gives you. Now, people have been misled and misled and misled. I came here in 1973, and I was told very blankly that I won't be successful here, that I must demand for a lot of money, otherwise people will never take me seriously in this country. So I went away empty-handed. It was sad at that time to understand that the seekers don't understand a simple thing, that you cannot pay anything for your realization. What did we pay for becoming human beings? A simple thing like that, one has to understand. That you cannot pay for that. It is so invaluable. It cannot be valued in money. God doesn't understand money. It is your headache. It is so simple. It has to be simple, your evolution. All that is living has to be simple. A flower becomes a fruit. How much money do you give to the tree? A seed becomes a tree. Do we pay for that? What do we do there? It's common sense. It's simple common sense. if it is a living process of evolution, then it cannot be understood through our human enterprises and human madness. So, if there is going to be evolution within us, what should happen to us? Let us see a person like you, what he has to say. He has very clearly, he is the only psychologist who has talked about a higher consciousness within us. All the rest of them have said that because of this is the problem, because of that is the problem, but to overcome it, what is to be done, how to achieve your higher consciousness, only Jung has talked. And he has very clearly said that the new man who will appear on the scene will have collective consciousness. It will not be just a lecture that we have to form a United Nations organization and then fight among ourselves. But it is a reality that will be within us, felt as consciousness on our central nervous system. Just like I can feel the heat or the cold. In the same way we are going to feel others and ourselves on our fingertips. Another great personality, that of Muhammad Sahib, has clearly said that at the time of resurrection, your hands will speak. It's clearly said. And if you read Quran, you will be surprised that most of it has dealt with the resurrection and not with the doomsday. But they want to talk about the doomsday so that they can frighten everyone that you are going to be doomed, so better be there paying all the money to these people who represent some sort of an organization. Now we have to know that when we believe in something, before we becoming the absolute, actually we use our mental projections. You project yourself into any realm, go on projecting mental projections, but they are on a relative plane that you exist. Means it may be true, may not be true. It's just mental projection. Mostly it is not true. All our thinking about our economics, politics, everything is just a mental projection, and that's why everything has failed everywhere. Whether it is here or in Russia or in Japan, everything has failed completely. Take it from me, I have traveled all over. Nowhere it seems that people are happy. In the same way, in the realm of God also we have our mental projections. Like some people believe that I am a great Muslim and that Muhammad was the last person, and because I call myself Muslim, I will be taken straight from this earth to the heaven. How many believes like that? How many will agree with that? Now there are Christians, all kinds. So many types of Christians have come out of one Christ that it is impossible to understand. Like they asked Mahatma Gandhi, why don't you become a Christian if you believe Christ? He said, all right, I'm willing. But tell me which church? What church should I join? And the person who asked kept quiet. This is what exactly is. And the young people today who are seekers are confused, absolutely confused. They can't understand that why, when they talk of God, why do they fight in the name of God? Why do they become fanatic? Why they shout? Why are they such angry people? Yesterday I had a funny experience that some people brought some Bibles to hit me. Can you imagine? Really, it was so. I saw them bringing Bibles to hit me. And I just started laughing. I said, look at this now. That they have come here to hit me with a Bible. I mean, this is the best that could happen to anyone. Such absurdity in this world. Once upon a time they used to carry a Bible in one hand and a pistol in another. But now it's another thing. They are using the Bible as the pistol. So when you see all these things and these confused people, these misled people, you start wondering, is there God? If there is God, why there is so much of madness and why we are behaving like that? Now I say there is God. He exists. He exists within us as our spirit. Everything is within us. We have every power within us. Only thing, we are not yet connected to the mains. Like this instrument, if it is not connected to the mains, you won't be able to hear me at all. In the same way, if you are not connected with the divine, whatever you do is mental projection, which can create confusion, which will give nothing substantial, and everything will sound absolutely unreal. That is the time described as the time of complete confusion. You will be born at the time where there will be complete confusion and you will go mad with that confusion. Because that is the time, in that confusion, only people try to seek the truth. That they realize it is a very relative world and there is something missing somewhere which we have to find out. And what is that missing? Is within you, is your spirit. You have to become the spirit. You are the spirit. But your attention is outside, and in this attention, if the spirit starts shining, you become the spirit. As a result of this happening, many things happen. But when you become the spirit, you become, first of all, completely aware about others and about yourself. You do not know about yourself. Till people get mad, they don't know they are becoming mad. Till they get their cancer, they do not know they are going to die of cancer. Till they get to some diseases, they don't know that they are going to suffer like this. So till these things happen to you, you do not even feel that that has started within you, that this destruction has started building up within you. You do not know that where are you? The reason is you do not know what you have got within yourself. Now I hope Warren has told you about the centers that we have within us, and I was amazed when I came in 73, I talked about this, they taped my lecture, and already there are many books written about it. Not only that, but this twice born business also started with that. You see, they used all the terminologies that I have used, and when I came, the person who was here, who sponsored me, he said that you must get everything, what you call the registered or something like that they do. And I said, why? Why? They said, because they'll use. I said, let them use, it's a good idea. At least they will know these words. And once they find out that this is not so, they'll throw it away and seek for reality. So it doesn't matter. I don't mind anything. If they want to do anything, let them do it. Let these words go into their heads and let them understand that within us lies this marvelous thing called Kundalini in the triangular bone. Now look at that. This bone is called a sacrum in Greek language. That means the Greek knew about this power within us. Otherwise, why should they call it a sacred bone? It's a sacred bone. And this sacred power lies within that. Now what is this sacred power? It is a 3.5 coiled power of pure desire. Now the sense of purity in this confusion people don't understand. But I'll try to explain to you that the other desires we have apart from this tend to create more desires. Like in economics they say that wants in general are not satiable. Means you want to have today a chair, then you want to have a table, then you want to have a house, and then you want to have a car, then you want to have a helicopter. You go on like that. So that is not a true desire, because if it was your true desire, you would have been satisfied with it. So what is your true desire then? The true desire within you is the desire to be one with the divine. That is your true desire. All other desires are false, because they do not give you the true satisfaction. So this true desire resides within you in the triangular bone in 3.5 coil. Now when I say that, I must tell you Sahaja Yoga today is at such a time that you can prove everything what you say. Before this, it was not possible to prove. When this Kundalini rises, in many people, if they have obstructions at the Nabhi chakra or at the another one, Swadhisthana chakra, you can see it pulsating. You can see that pulsating. Actually, you can see with the naked eye the pulsation of the Kundalini with your naked eye. Then the Kundalini rises. You can feel it with the stethoscope, the rising of the Kundalini, like lup, dup, lup, dup. It goes on like the heart. It reaches on the top of your head here, where you again feel the sound, and then the sound disappears, and you find a cool breeze coming out of your own head. Now, this you cannot do. As you cannot transform a flower into a fruit, you cannot make cool breeze come out of your head. Like the other day, I went to one of the television person, and the person said, maybe the air conditioner is there. I said, maybe, but you put your hand. So she said, of course, there cannot be an air conditioner in my head. I said, that's what it is. And that's how you know that you are being really baptized. Now, all kinds of trickery we indulge into. People can tell you that you start jumping. I have seen people coming to my program suddenly start jumping. So I said, why are you jumping? They said, oh, we have paid 6,000 pounds for this jumping. I said, 6,000 pounds for jumping? What do you mean? You are jumping like a frog. You are not going to become a frog now. You have to become something higher. No, we are going to now, suspend ourselves. Levitate. Very soon. Levitate is the word. Big word. I said, why do you want to levitate like that? Imagine what a problem it will create. All of you levitating going around. Already you are creating problems for me. Well, what is the interest? Why do you want to levitate? What is the interest? I said, but the one who has taken 6,000 pounds, let him levitate and fly in the air. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, no, we are going to do it. All right. Now you go away because I can't do anything about it. After 6 months, they come there with their epilepsy, levitating as epileptics. It is such a stupid thing to go to listen to. Like the other day, one gentleman writes to me, but mother, they say that epilepsy is a divine blessing. Can you believe it? If you go on thinking like that, tomorrow you will say that cancer is a divine blessing or all other diseases are divine blessing. I mean, imagine to bring God to that level with your brains and rationality is absurd. I have got it in writing. The gentleman wrote a very strong letter to me saying that you should not denounce epilepsy. You should not criticize that if one gets epilepsy. It's a divine blessing. I wish the gentleman gets for a change a little bit of it and know what it is. So this is what has happened with our mental projection. We have gone too far. But this power still is there, quite intact, settled down there. And it just wants to get a chance to give you your second birth because she is your mother. She is within you, in every one of you, a separate mother. I don't know in these days even motherhood is such a corrupt stuff that I don't know how to talk about motherhood to you. But I would say that like the Mother Earth, she represents the Mother Earth, the Aquarius. In Sanskrit language, she is called as Kumbha, means the Aquarius. She is the Aquarius. And the job of the Aquarius is to nourish, to soothe. And that's what is the job of this Kundalini is. Today, at this position of your consciousness, you have to become something higher. Not that a man becomes a woman, woman becomes a man. It's like a pendulum going from this to that. That is not the way it has to be. But higher means you have to develop the qualities of a mother who gives birth to others, who nourishes you, who soothes you, and who guides you, counsels you, redeems you, and takes you to the higher position of life. And this is the job of this Kundalini, who is this mother, very nicely settled in all of you. So I don't do anything whatsoever. She is just there. When she rises, she passes through various centers. Now, sometimes these centers can be in a very, very bad shape. Because supposing you have some physical problem, you have some mental problems, you have any other problem, these centers can be in a bad shape. So this poor mother goes first of all, soothes those places and improves them, and then she rises suddenly. But sometimes it shoots off. In a split of a second, it shoots off. And when it shoots off, you can just feel it, the thing coming up. But it has to nourish. So it nourishes all your centers. You have to just know after your awakening how to nourish yourself and how to establish yourself into your spirit. This is a very, very simple process. As I told you, all the living processes are absolutely simple. They have to be, because they are vital. Supposing tomorrow we have to learn how to breathe and we have to have a guru for whom we pay 6,000 pounds. I don't know, even if we'll have chance to pay that much when we have not the breath within us. So all that is done within us in a living way is all simple, for which we don't pay or read anything and we do not do anything about it. Now one has to know that this consciousness which has to rise is not pendulous, but it moves spirally and comes up over us on this part, and we become collectively conscious. That is the super consciousness we have got. There is another very big confusion about consciousness that I have seen recently only when I addressed the Jungians, and they have a concept that the unconscious can be partly become conscious. On top of that is the subconscious. On top of that is the consciousness of present, and on top of that is the ego. It's a very confused bundle, I can tell you. Because one must know that if the Creator has any intelligence, He would not place you in a bundle like that. He must make a proper passage within you. Now here you will see how you are vertically placed. The left side, which is called as libido or whatever he calls it. I mean, he was little half-baked, so I won't use his words, it's very confusing. But I'll tell you, we call it as the Ida Nadi, which is an ancient name given to thousands of years. This is the traditional, absolutely traditional thing, ancient thing, which has been used in India for very few people, which was a secret science till the 6th century. And Adi Shankaracharya for the first time started talking about it openly. But then Kabira, Nanaka, all these people talked about it at length and said all kinds of things. But this Kundalini business is so simple to understand that if a great organizer has put these things within us, he has put them systematically. So on the left hand side, as you see, is this power of our desire, not pure desire but of our desires, which we use and which also acts for our emotions. This is also creating within us a pouch-like thing on top, which we call as our conditioning, or we can call it in psychological languages as superego. And in Sanskrit it is called as manasaha. And then this power also has the activity of creating our subconscious, and beyond that lies our collective subconscious. On the right hand side is the power of our action, by which we act upon our desires, by which we create on the right hand side an area called supraconscious. Means we think of the future, you see, planning, this, that, an area is created, and the activity of this channel, which is called as the sun channel or Pingala channel, because it is yellow, it creates liver trouble, and they have bile color within them. They have a bile color on their faces, these people who are futuristic. And this one then on the right hand side gives an area called supraconscious, and beyond that lies the collective supraconscious. Now in this area, all that is dead, which was dealing with future, means mostly human beings deal with future. Some animals also do, but mostly human beings. Like Hitler used this area. He caught hold of these things through these lamas and used that to impress on people that they are a great community and they are a higher race and all that. And that's how, by using these entities, he managed to influence these people, mesmerizing of a different type, where a person feels very high-handed and thinks he's a great person, or thinks that he can achieve a great result, or he's something of a very higher level than the others. You see, that kind of a thing. But as a result of its activity, it creates that yellow stuff, very dangerous one called ego. So we have two types of people, one who live with dominating another person, competing, pulling them down, sitting on their heads and put the other fellow down. This kind of people at the extreme, we call them as sadists. And the people on the other side who take all these things in their hearts and are very conditioned, they just say that I believe sort of thing. These people at the extreme are the masochists. Thank God you know all these words. Not so difficult for me to talk to you. Now, in the center lies the third power. The third power is the power which manifests the parasympathetic. And these two manifest the left and right sympathetic nervous system. When we go into any activity, which is emergency, supposing we are running very fast, then our heart starts pumping fast. So we bring in the play of the sympathetic nervous system of the right side, and the heart goes on pumping more blood for that emergency. But the parasympathetic in the center brings it to the normal. So the job of the parasympathetic is to supply the energy and limited energy, and also to give a balance and bring it to normalcy. So everything becomes normal because of the parasympathetic. Now, in the medical terminology, all these are called as autonomous nervous system. Though the two sympathetic can be put into manifestation by us, but the parasympathetic is beyond us, and doctors very honestly say that we don't know much about parasympathetic. Now, this parasympathetic nervous system within us is the one that is responsible for our evolution so far. It is this power that has given us this evolution. That's how we have become human beings. And now we have to go further with it. Now we have already people. Only thing what has to happen, we are to be connected with that auto. Who is this auto? By calling somebody auto, you do not understand. Automobile means there is somebody who is driving it. Now who is the driver within us? And the driver within us is nobody else but is our spirit. To give an analogy of a car, it's easy to understand that within us lies the brake and the accelerator. Brake is the left side, the right is the accelerator. And there is a driver in the center. Now this driver first tries left, then right, left, and then understands that how to bring the balance to the whole system. And that balancing is the one that is our sustenance, that is our dharma in Sanskrit language. When that balance is established, anything, supposing a plane has to ascend, then it must have a balance. You can't have a plane ascending without a balance. So first the balance is given to us by this driver, which is the central power. Then there is the master sitting at the back. And the master is watching the show, how you drive, how you balance. But when you become an expert driver, then you become the master. And the master starts looking at the driver in you and the accelerator in you and the brake in you. And he becomes just above everything. That is why when Kundalini rises, she nourishes all the centers by which she cures your physical problems. She cures your mental problems. She cures all your emotional problems. She cures your spiritual problems. Ultimately, when she pierces through and establishes herself, she makes you the master of yourself. So you drop out all your habits, you drop out all that is troubling you, all your temptations, all these things are dropped out. So when you come to Sahaja Yoga, we don't tell you that don't do. Because if I tell you don't do it, you'll do it more. Alright. So you come along, sit down, have your realization, and then you just don't do it. You don't like it, you just don't want it. So we don't use the words of don't at all. First get your realization. And this was very much important for Buddha also. Because Buddha didn't want to talk of God. He said if you talk of God, everybody thinks they are gods. So best is just to talk about self. First just let them talk about the self, get to the self. Unless and until they get to the self, you talk of God, they all become ritualistic, they start praying, doing all kinds of things. Like if you have to have the honey of the flower, he said better not talk about the flower, otherwise they get stuck to the flower. Then talk about the honey. But even if you talk about the honey, you can't get to the honey. You have to be a bee. So that's what you have to be a bee, and all that is built in within yourself. Now the spirit resides in your heart, but the seat of the spirit is here on top of your head. When the Kundalini touches that, then you find a cool breeze coming in, and when the spirit takes over, you start feeling a cool breeze in your hand. For the first time, you feel that all-pervading power of God's love, which is nourishing the whole world, which is doing all the living works without taking any money from you. And this is what you have to be. So you have to become your own guru. I am not a guru, I am just a mother for you, if you want to call me mother. And what I have to do is that you are all ready, people. Your candles are ready. If I am an enlightened candle, I just enlighten your candle. In the light of that candle, you understand each and everything. So I don't do anything. Actually, you must know that when you become collectively conscious, you start feeling everyone within yourself. There is not the other. See, like some people say that we are doing such a great social work, you see, and looking after the sick and this and that. Who is the other? Who is the other? Supposing this is my finger is paining, alright, if I soothe this finger. So I am not doing any obligation on anyone, and nobody should feel obliged. This is your own, this you have a right to have it. I would say I am like a banker, I have to cash your checks. And you better have them cashed. That's all. There's nothing to be aggressive with me. I have not come to take away anything from you, but to give you what is your own. That's all. I am here to give you that. For that, I don't think it is proper to be aggressive with me or hit me with Bible or Quran. May God bless you all. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you ask. But last time I asked for a question and people started saying all kinds of things. So these people have told me, Mother, never ask them to ask questions. Because by questioning or not questioning is not going to work out. It is something that is within you, which has to rise and give you realization, which I cannot guarantee. If it works very well and good, if it doesn't work, the others will look after you. We have a center here. It should work out. But by discussion and argument, it's not going to work out. So there's no need to argue or discuss. But you see, we are very thinking people. So if there's your mind working out too much, you better ask me. Otherwise, at the time of realization, I don't want your mind to stand up and say, you didn't ask this question. Nothing is important than your self-realization. This is your baptism. This is what is called in the Quran as to be the pir. He has said clearly, you have to be a pir. Now there have been many incidents to prove that Sahaja is the truth, no doubt. And for that you cannot pay. Only if you can accept this proposition, I think everything will be all right. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Any questions? Yes. Can you make it loud so they can all hear, please?
Yes. There is a teacher whose name is Kirpalu.
Just before you begin, I would ask, please, that the questions relate to what Shri Mataji has spoken about, and let's not make comparisons between other gurus, other teachers, other books, if you don't mind.
I'll just tell you.
Please.
You see, what I'm saying, supposing you have been to any guru, anyone, all right. If you have got anything, I have nothing to say. It's very good. If you haven't got anything, I'm here to do something about it. So don't bring in anyone. I don't want to talk about them.
May I finish my question?
Now you don't ask
In
about...
view of what she said, yes.
Some of his disciples in this country have talked about Sahaja Yoga using just that phrase. And I wonder if there is any connection.
Yeah. Who was the gentleman? Is it Dubey? Is it Mr. Dubey? I know. This fellow was very funny.
What's his name?
What is this name? Mr. Dubey and company?
He's up from Northern California. He taught enlightenment intensives. I've forgotten his name.
He taught enlightenment intensives.
But he said that he had studied with Kirpalu in India, and that he taught it under the name of Sahaja Yoga.
Correct. You see, this must be this horrible Dubey. I know. He showed me a brochure. You see, when he came to India. Oh, yes, correct. Must be the same fellow. He was making money out of Sahaja Yoga. It's correct. He came and he because from this intensive business I know, and he showed me. He was giving tremendous heat, and I said, "What are you doing?" So I said, "No, I'm doing Sahaja Yoga. I'm teaching Sahaja Yoga and all that." So I said, "All right, let me see your brochure." And in that he had written that for ordinary vibrations, it is $175, or I don't remember exactly. And for intensive, that's it. All right, forget him. These Indians, sorry if there are no Indians. If there are, be careful about them.
That's good.
They have come here to make money. And even out of Sahaja Yoga they can do it. I'm so sorry to say, but they can be very dangerous. I'm sorry, but it happens. I'm sorry. Now, yes, the gentleman. Yeah.
Could you tell me the purpose of putting your feet flat on the floor? My feet don't touch the floor when I
You see, it is a simple purpose, is that this is Mother Earth. It's nice, we are just on the Mother Earth. See? And if you put your feet on the Mother Earth, she helps me a lot because she sucks in lots of your problems. Alright? That's why. That is the purpose. Can you not touch it?
No, only the toes. The back don't go down.
Oh, I'm sorry. The seats seem to be very high up. No, it doesn't matter. Whatever touches is all right. We can manage as long as it touches. But don't exert yourself too much. You have to be comfortable. All right, sir?
I'm meeting many people in this country, young people. Also, this answer is many people don't believe that because these people who have Bible or have no knowledge to be practical, sleeping in the car or have Bible and everything, or children can be 1 year old, 1 month, 1 day, 1 hour. God take life from the children. What is people asking why? Also don't believe me to go to spiritual church.
All right, that is all right if they don't believe. There's nothing surprising about it because they all reflect on everything. There's nothing wrong in it. But the only thing is now the time has come to prove the existence of God.
So we must have knowledge to get the God. Many thousand people are living in Bagola. After 12 o'clock, from many people
I hope you get your realization. You can prove them the existence of God. Because when you get your realization, what happens? Actually, you are like a computer. You see, computer is also in parallel to our evolutionary life, is another machinery which proves that we are also computers within. And what happens when you become that? And you ask a question, any absolute question, you get an answer as a tremendous vibrations in your hand. For example, if you say, is there God? You start getting cool breeze in your hand in such a big way. Now you might say, Mother, this may be true, may not be true. But supposing there are some 4 mad people sitting here, all right? And you put your hands towards them and you will get tremendous heat. You may even burn your fingers. Or if you want to ask about some of these fake gurus, you might get blisters on your fingers. So this is what it is. That it is such a truthful thing. It's so absolutely true that whatever you start asking, you get the answer in an absolute way. Like there was one gentleman who came to me first, very great intellectual. He got his realization. And then he started doubting about it when I told that you get collectively conscious and that your intercommunication system starts working in a very subtle way. So I told him, all right, now you do one thing, is to put your hands and find out about it. He said, I want to find out about my father. He has not written to me since long, he has not telephoned to me. I said, all right, find out. So he put his hands like this and he thought of his father and suddenly he got a burning here on this part of the finger. And he said, then what does this mean? I've got a burning here. Now these I can decode. I said, these are the centers. These are the centers of your father and this finger relates to this part. So he must be down with very, very bad bronchitis. So just to verify, he telephoned. His father was in Scotland and his mother came to the phone and she told him exactly in the same sentence, your father is down with very, very bad bronchitis. Now sitting down there, you can treat your father. Just imagine how wonderful you are. You are fantastic. You have no idea what you are. Sitting down there, you can treat your father. And he did that. And after 3-4 hours, the father got out of the bed. His temperature was all out and he was perfectly all right. This is fantastic. Sounds so fantastic. Without paying anything, you get it. But that's what you are. That's what you are. You are fantastic. Like in an Indian village, if you take your television and tell them that you are going to see all kinds of plays and things here, they will never believe it. They'll say, what? In this box? How can we? But this box, once connected, shows all the fantastic things that are within you. And you are amazed at your own powers. I promise you that once it happens, you will discover yourself to be the greatest creation of the whole universe. May God bless you.
Yes.
From what I have read in the past,
Speak up.
From what I have read in the past and from what I have heard, is that it can be dangerous to release the Kundalini.
I mentioned this.
Yeah.
Dangers of Kundalini.
Yeah. You see, that is all another nonsense. Because when I was born, when I read these books, I was so amazed. You see, some said it is in the stomach, some said it is in the brain. I said, these people have no idea about Kundalini. Why do they write books? But I think it takes nothing to write books, you see. And you can sell it in the market where people don't know much about it. Kundalini is your mother. She is just waiting to give you your realization. But you see below that is a center of your innocence. And when people try tricks with that center, then in that center resides your innocence, which gets angry and starts hitting you. And that's how it is dangerous. It's like a person who has never come, say, to a Western country, tries to put his fingers in the plug and says that electricity has given me a shock. So it is the naiveness of the people that it happens. Now, I can assure you, we have had thousands of people who got realization. And none of them have ever felt anything dangerous. Of course, some people do feel the heat a little bit in the hand if they have liver trouble, If you are being to wrong fake guru, sometimes your hands shake, your eyes shake. These things little bit happen. But nothing dangerous. It is quite bearable.
Somebody else.
I'm here because I saw a poster on which it was claimed that you were the most important spiritual figure, whatever. Why should I believe that?
You shouldn't. I say you shouldn't. These people do it. You shouldn't believe it. But you just keep your mind open, alright? That's all. You shouldn't believe it. I don't say you believe it. That's what they must have put it up. But you see, I know, I told them never put like that. If you put like that, everybody's ego will stand up just like that. So don't put such a thing. I have told them various times, but they think unless and until you do something like that, nobody would come. Now I don't know, these are all gimmicks. But as far as I am concerned, you don't believe into anything, but also don't become a closed personality. Alright? You can see for yourself it is true or not. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
One would like the fact that although there seem to be an abundance of truth seekers today, people seeking higher levels of spirituality, yet the world in general appears to me to be in a greatest turmoil of all time.
Even though there's great seeking and people aiming to rise to higher consciousness, why is it that the world's in such a state?
Ask them. Why ask me? I just myself don't know. You see these people. I mean, this is the most important time when you are born. And they think what's wrong? They have lost all sense of wisdom. All sense of wisdom is lost in their seeking. And I would say there is a very negative attack on all the seekers also. From very childhood they can be attacked. They are naive. They can be misled. All these things happen. But if they once accept that they have to become the spirit, then it works out. Everything is forgiven. And it works out. Let's start it now. Whatever may be the case, let us start it. Alright?
One more. No,
You have done it. Now let others. Alright?
I just wanted to know what Sahaja means.
What is
Sahaja. Saha means with and Ja means born. Born with you. Actually it is these days called Mahayoga. Because this spontaneous yoga is union with the divine is yoga. And Sahaja yoga means spontaneous union with the divine. And also yoga has another meaning. Means yoga is kaushalam, means deftness. After realization you must have the expertise. You have to become an expert as far as the kundalini is concerned, as far as the awakening is concerned, realization is concerned, then you are a Sahajogi, otherwise you are not. This Warren whom you see here is a doctor, was a diplomat and all kinds of things. But today he is a great Sahajogi because he has given realizations to I don't know how many thousands of people in Australia. Let's see now what happens here. Alright? Yes, that's it.
They're waiting.
Alright. Now, are you all waiting now? Let us finish with the questions. Alright? Now, later on, Mr. will be. Alright? Let us do.
Ask about this. Relax because people are looking for hope and relax.
He's giving it to you.
You just wait. You just relax now and you'll be nicely relaxed.
Put your hands out towards me. Flat on your lap comfortably.
You see, it is such a great subject that I can't tell you all about it in 1 minute, alright? Or one lecture. Like this room is, if you have to have the lights in this room, what you will say, that alright, put on the switch. But doesn't mean that though the switch is put on and you get the light, it is just without any organization behind it, without any history behind it. There's a very big thing behind the whole evolutionary process. It's a very big thing. But first you get your light. And then you can find out for yourself what it is. Alright? We have to have little patience. Now just you put your both the hands towards me like this, simple, like this, on the lap. In a very comfortable way, you should sit down. If you have anything very tight, you can loosen a little bit. There should be no discomfort. That's all. And you can even take out your spectacles if you want, because it helps the eyesight. So you should not feel uncomfortable. You have to close your eyes. Throughout, you have to keep your eyes completely shut. Please keep your eyes completely shut. Please don't open it, because this is no hypnosis. In this, the Kundalini rises, and when she rises, if your eyes are not shut, it doesn't rise. Because as parasympathetic nervous system, the dilatation of the pupil might take place. So better keep your eyes shut, and she will rise if your eyes are shut. Cross this very important center. When it will cross this, you will feel there is no thought in your mind. But you are aware, absolutely fully aware, because one thought falls, another comes, but in between there is a space. And this space is the present. So you go into that state where you are in the present. So first thing that happens is the thoughtless awareness. Thoughtless awareness, and then you rise into another awareness later on as you grow into doubtless awareness. But that grows gradually like a tree grows. Please close your eyes. Just keep your eyes shut and put both the hands towards me. It is a spontaneous happening. It is absolutely a spontaneous happening, no doubt. But when there is some problem on the centers, we have to nourish it before the whole thing starts. So I will tell you slowly how to nourish your particular centers, because if in a group there is a center has a problem, it's better to correct it. You yourself will do it. So keep your eyes shut and the left hand towards me, and the right hand, as I tell you, you have to put it to different places on your being so that you nourish that particular center. Now the first and the foremost, we have to know that we are sitting in the present and we don't have to bother about the future or the past. So you don't have to think what wrongs you have done, sins you have committed, all nonsense. It is just a rubbish thing, is past, is finished. You are not to feel guilty at all. That is one promise you have to make, that you are not going to feel guilty. So you tell yourself, I am not at all guilty. Whatever you have done is finished. Just say, I am not at all guilty. Just close your eyes and say, I am not at all guilty. Now, every time you do what I tell you, you should know that you are not guilty at all about anything. With full confidence you have to do. Now put your right hand on your heart. Left hand towards me. It's very simple. On the heart, on the left hand side. On the left hand side, on your heart resides your spirit. Now you can ask me a question in your heart. A simple question. You can address me as Mother if you like, or as Shri Mataji, whichever way you like. Saying, Mother, am I the spirit? Now ask with full confidence. Mother, am I the spirit? Thrice you ask the question. Put your left hand towards me on your lap. Stretch your fingers a little. Left hand. Right hand is all right on your heart. Now, put the right hand on your stomach on the left hand side. Right hand on the stomach on the left hand side and press it a little. This is the center of your mastery. So here lies the primordial master within you, which is to be awakened. So you just say, put left hand towards me, right hand on this part, and keep your eyes shut. Now ask a question, or you may say it with full confidence, both ways. Mother, am I my own master? Or else you can say, Mother, I am my own master. Just say that with full confidence. You are. Just say, you have to just assert because you are. Mother, I am my own master. Please say it 10 times. Press it hard. Press it hard. Now raise this right hand on your heart again, but don't open your eyes and don't feel guilty. Please don't feel guilty. You are still guilty. I can feel it. Don't feel guilty, for heaven's sake. Don't feel guilty. Now, at this stage, you again assert with full confidence, saying, Mother, I am the Spirit. Don't feel guilty. Say it 12 times, but don't feel guilty. With full confidence, say, Mother, I am the Spirit. Please say. Now put the right hand properly on the heart and say it 12 times. Without feeling guilty. Just say, Mother, I am the Spirit. Now raise this right hand on your neck, on the shoulder, where the shoulder and the neck meet, in that corner from front. Put this on the left hand side of your shoulder next to the neck and hold it tight and press it hard. This center is caught up because you are feeling guilty. So now please say it 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty. And if you are really still going on with that kind, then say it 32 times. You can go up to 108 times. Just to punish yourself for feeling guilty. How much energy is wasted in feeling guilty, you know? I feel there are mountains and mountains of that there. Please say, Mother, I am not guilty. Make fun of yourself when you feel guilty. Now raise your right hand to your forehead, straight, across the forehead. And now at this point, you have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. When you don't forgive anyone, you are just playing into the hands of the persons who have troubled you. It's a myth. What do? You just say, I forgive everyone. Just say, I forgive everyone. Now put your right hand on top of your head. Just and press it with your palm and move it clockwise. Press it hard. Now at this point, I'm sorry, I cannot cross your freedom. Just press your hand on top of your head and press it hard. At this point, as I told you, I cannot cross your freedom. So you have to ask for your realization. You have to say you want your realization. So please say 7 times, Mother, I want my realization. Please give me my realization. Now raise your hand and see if there's a cool breeze coming out. Maybe some heat is coming. About 6 inches. You can change your hand. Put your right hand down and with the left hand you can try to see. Yeah. Got it. Yes, I know you got it. That's it. Keep it on. It's there. You found it. See now. It's coming. Out of your head. Alright? That's what you've been seeking. Now put your hand, another hand, and exchange and see for yourself with another hand also. It helps a lot. Change your hands again and see for yourself. Changing your hands. Don't get disappointed. Some people feel it, some people don't. Doesn't matter. But you go on changing your hands. Do not doubt yourself. Please do not doubt yourself. And don't think. Don't think. Don't think. Now put both your hands on your lap. And see for yourself, are you feeling cool breeze in your hand? Just see. Don't doubt. Put both the hands on your lap, please. On your lap. And just see if you are feeling the cool breeze in your hand. Can you hold it for me? Now you can open your eyes slowly. Slowly open your eyes. This is very enjoyable state you are in. And watch me without thinking. Just watch me without thinking. Don't start thinking. Because you have gone beyond thinking. Now I will teach you how to raise your own Kundalini. Which is, again you are feeling guilty. This finger is catching. You are feeling guilty again. Please don't feel guilty. Now you are done. Now you have become a bird. You are no more an egg. Why are you feeling guilty? Please don't feel guilty. Now, the left hand is the one you have to put it in front of your Kundalini when you are sitting down, just like this. In front of your Kundalini, left hand. And the right hand has to move from up, forward, down, back. Like this. And now we move it. Let's start. Now you move your hand. Both the hands are moved. One is straight, another goes round it like that. And push back your hands on top of your head. Just loose and make it a twist. A big twist, give it. And now give it a knot. We have to do it this thrice once we have done. Again, let's do. Once more. Throw back your hands and your head. And now give it a twist. Watch your hands. And now give it a second knot. Third time you have to give 3 knots. Let's start. Yeah. First knot, second knot, and the third knot. Now see your hands. Are you feeling the cool breeze? Better. Better. Now you can put your hands up like that, all of you. And now ask a question within yourself. Is this the breeze of the Holy Ghost? Is this the breeze of the primordial master or the primordial mother? Is this the breeze of God Almighty and His love? Just feel it. Is this the all-pervading power of Brahma? It's blowing it. Right? Good. Put down your hands now. See, you're feeling it better. It's so simple. The only thing is today it is working en masse. Thousands have to get their realization. Each one of you can give realization to thousands. So now, as you know, I'm going away tomorrow. I'm here only for one program. I would have loved to meet you, all of you, but I'll be in Los Angeles for tomorrow and day after. I hope you'll continue with it. Understand yourself. It is like a seed that has sprouted. You have to look after this little seedling. Let it grow into a tree, and when I come next, I'm sure I'll see many fruits are born by this great tree. May God bless you.